bro, they're remastering an old Sonic game for next-gen consoles. Remastering an old Sonic game? Is it Sonic Adventure? Nope. Is it Sonic Adventure 2? No. Is it Sonic Heroes? No. Is it Sonic Unleashed? Nuh-uh. Is it the Storybook games? Nope. Is it Sonic 06? No. Damn, that game needs a remaster out of all of them. What other Sonic games are there? Is it Sonic Colors?
Sonic Colors, the last Sonic game that needs a remaster. I remember being extremely excited for the original game when it was first announced. With a criticism of Sonic Unleashed's nighttime stages that slow down the pace of the game, Sonic Colors was said to be all the best parts of Sonic Unleashed packed into one game. It was said to play like all the daytime stages from Sonic Unleashed with a primary focus on the fun boost formula. And boy was I fucking disappointed. To be fair, Sonic Colors was said to only be coming to the Wii and Nintendo DS. I didn't have the highest expectations that it would be exactly like Sonic Unleashed, other than it would play decent without the slowdowns that Sonic Unleashed had. When I finally played Sonic Colors, the first thing I realized was how much of a 180 turn the game took from previous Sonic games. The story was extremely goofy, to put it kindly, the level design was linear, and the controls felt like the game was meant to play itself. I remember thinking how Sonic Unleashed for the Wii in 2008 played and felt better, yet here we were in 2010 with a brand new Sonic game that was meant to be a refinement of the former. The story felt as if a fired intern from a child's cartoon show wrote it. It felt like a toddler just learned their basic shapes and designed all the levels, and Sonic's control scheme felt like they were scrapped from an early version of Sonic Unleashed meant to run on the PS1. I did not have a good time with the game. In fact, I dreaded it. I got literal headaches trying to play the game, thinking that there would be some sort of cool payoff by the end, or some exciting level that would make it all worth it, but to my surprise it was not. Not even a cool supersonic boss fight at the end that Sonic games are famous for. Sonic Colors was a letdown. Coming from a hardcore Sonic fan since the late 90s, I didn't understand why the game was getting such good praise. It played nowhere near as good as Sonic Unleashed, yet people were praising it as being an incredible Sonic game. Were people just desperate for a new Sonic game after 2 years, or was I blinded by the greatness that the game held? No, it was just really fucking bad. Years later, I thought most of my hatred for Sonic Colors came from the fact that Sonic Colors was the start of the meta era for Sonic the Hedgehog, an era where Sonic would be more catered to a younger demographic, yet trying to hook old school fans in with nostalgia pandering. It was like the blue blur no longer had an identity. What was once cool and full of attitude was now a running meme of itself. And for the longest time, I blamed the positive reception of Sonic Colors to be the cause of this. Since Sonic Colors did so well, clearly Sonic Team thought that this is what people wanted out of the series. I did not like that idea. So of course, Sonic Colors became my most hated Sonic game for stripping Sonic of what it originally was to me. But now, with 11 years past and a remaster now in our hands, was the game actually bad, or was it my biases that blinded me? Will Sonic Colors Ultimate change my mind about Sonic Colors as a whole? No, the game still fucking sucks. Okay, to be fair, if you played and enjoyed Sonic Colors, then you will also like Sonic Colors Ultimate. While the game launched with plenty of new glitches and problems, at its core it's still the same game with some enhancements and quality of life improvements added into it. After playing Sonic Colors Ultimate, I can now say that Sonic Colors isn't as bad as I made it out to be all this time, but it still isn't a great Sonic game. Honestly, it's only really an average platformer game if we strip Sonic out of the equation. I'd say it's like Sonic's take at a Mario-styled game. The Wisps, which are the main game's gimmick, act as Mario power-ups, transforming Sonic into different forms that will literally have you thinking you're playing a Nintendo game the whole way through. It's okay if it was meant to be a spin-off game, but it's not. It's a mainline Sonic game, which is where most of my disappointment has always come from regarding Colors. But instead of bitching about the past, let's talk about Sonic Colors Ultimate and where its strengths and weaknesses lie, starting with what new things the game brings to the table. Sonic Colors Ultimate has some new additions to it. They're mainly quality of life things, but I actually do appreciate these new add-ons. If you're familiar with the original Sonic Colors, the first addition you'll notice when you play Ultimate are the park tokens. These act as currency. The game now offers customization to our Lord and Savior Sonic the Hedgehog, along with artwork and music you can purchase in-game with the park tokens. You can change the appearance of Sonic by giving him different gloves and shoes, and you can even change Sonic's aura and boost effects along with your player icon to a number of different things, including characters from other Sega franchises. These are solely cosmetic though, and don't do anything to change the gameplay. This is sort of a missed opportunity though, as these could have been used for functionality purposes as well. For example, the ice or fire aura could have protected you from elemental hazards, or the gloves and shoes could have allowed the player to keep a portion of their rings instead of losing all of them upon getting hit. Like seriously, I hated how Colors handled getting hit during these speed sections. Like you lose all your fucking rings with no way to recollect them. Instead of worthless cosmetics, the game could have at least added some utility to them. Nonetheless though, I did get more playtime out of the game in Ultimate looking for these park tokens to customize Sonic. In all, I have always loved the idea of upgrading Sonic as a character since Sonic Adventure. Finding the power-ups that granted Sonic new abilities was part of the magic those games had. While I'm happy they added customization options in Ultimate, I do think they totally dropped the ball with not including popular customization options from Sonic's past, such as Sonic's soap shoes or his shoes from Sonic Riders as an option. Instead, we get basic recolors essentially. The other addition to the game is the brand new Jade Wisp, which turns Sonic into a ghost-like form which can pass through solid objects and discover new alternative routes. I actually enjoyed using the Jade Wisp. Something about the precise control of the Jade Wisp feels incredibly satisfying to use. In fact, if Sonic felt as precise and as solid, well, I guess I can't say solid because, well, you know, it's a fucking ghost. But if Sonic controlled it as precise and as tight as the Jade Wisp, I think the game would have ended up better. There's just something about the Jade Wisp that feels like you're in full control of the form. Like it doesn't feel like you're sliding on ice, or it doesn't feel as janky as the way Sonic controls in the base game. You can definitely tell that the Jade Wisp came later on, as its physics feel a hell of a lot more refined than the rest of the game's controls, which feels like it was only slightly improved upon, but more on that later. Another cool feature is that the extra life system has been completely removed and replaced with the tail save feature. Instead of worrying about gaining extra lives in order to avoid a game over, instead you'll collect extra lives in the form of Tails icons. If you fall off a stage at any point, Tails will respawn you near the ledge you last fell off of, allowing you to resume the game, almost like a checkpoint system. I did find this useful at times, but it honestly feels like an easy mode. For more hardcore platformers and Sonic fans, you'll feel this to be unnecessary as the levels themselves aren't that big or too hard to begin with. This is more for casual players, which is a cool addition. However, the best addition to the game by far is the Rival Rush races with Metal Sonic. In these, you'll race Metal Sonic to the end goal. There's one for every planet, and I did find these to be very challenging yet fun. They're pretty similar to a time attack mode, where you would race against your ghost who does not actually interact with anything in the levels and follows a predetermined path, but is primarily there for aesthetic purposes to make it feel like you're racing against something other than the clock. Unfortunately, there are only 6 of them, one for each planet, but they do provide that little bit of extra fun and challenge that makes up for most of the game being a cakewalk. You unlock these rival races by getting roughly 15 red rings in each area. Once you do, you'll unlock the rival race with Metal Sonic, and you'll get rewards for beating him. You'll need a mix of strategy and luck to beat the rival races, but I did find this to be the biggest highlight of the game. However, not everything is all sunshine and flowers. Despite the new additions added to the game, Sonic Colors Ultimate lazily does patchwork to the main issues I had with the game. First off, Sonic's controls are only slightly better here than in Sonic Colors. In the original game, Sonic felt both stiff and slippery all at the same time. He also felt like the wrong weight, which made precise jumps difficult, especially the fact that they kept this weird thing where you have to hold down the jump button to reach Sonic's max height, but you have to hold it down unnecessarily longer than you traditionally have to hold it down in other platformer games. And then you also have a double jump, which makes jumping extremely awkward. Wall jumping and drifting is also still abysmal. No matter how much I practiced at mastering these two gimmicks, I just couldn't do it. Making Sonic enter drift mode just feels so unnecessary and clunky compared to how it worked in Unleashed in Generations. Wall jumping will make you want to smash your head into a wall because Sonic can never get his act together, which is probably why you have to play through 6 of these fucking things for each damn planet. Not to mention, there are these speed sections which A, play like automated dog shit, and B, never give you enough boost to feel like you're moving at top speed. In Unleashed, the game still somehow made these automated speed sections feel like the player was in control. You didn't have to do this weird awkward tap with the joystick to make Sonic move left and right. You could actually steer him left and right, or make Sonic instantly move left and right with the triggers. With being able to slightly steer Sonic left and right, this gave more of the illusion that these speed sections weren't as automated as they actually were. In Colors, it feels like a shitty minigame that comes down to tapping the analog stick at the right time. I expected Sonic to feel a little bit more like you were in control of him, but it's still barely the case here since he's either as stiff as an erect boner or as slippery as prison soap. And don't get me started on the story. The story of Sonic Colors Ultimate is exactly the same horrid garbage from Sonic Colors. It's still the cringy trash heap that it was in the original. Nothing has changed here, but I'm sure no one expected it to be. Unfortunately, the game does not include some of the plot or bosses from the DS version, which would have really made this the definitive version. I mean, it would have been awesome for the game to include the secret final boss from the DS version with Super Sonic and the Mother Wisp, or even the characters that show up in the DS version like Team Chaotix and Knuckles. Could you imagine an all-new reimagined HD Supersonic boss fight at the end of the game? That would have been awesome, or at the very least, allow the DS version to be an unlockable for the game, which is another reason why this game loses a point. Sonic Colors Ultimate is meant to be the definitive version of Sonic Colors, yet things from the DS version, which is arguably way better, are left out. I think at the very least, the DS version should have been playable in some way in Sonic Colors Ultimate, and could have been the ultimate unlockable in the game, or could have been an alternative way to experience the game, like have the player select which version of the game they'd like to play. Either way, Sonic Colors has the weakest story out of all the Sonic games, or at least the writing. The plot itself is fine, but it feels like it was written by and for a 5-year-old. The story could have almost been good if the writing for it was better. Now, while I didn't have any of the crazy bugs or visual glitches others have had with the game, I did have my own fair share of problems that I'm going to talk about. First off, the load times can be really long. I played Sonic Ultimate on the PS4, so I'm not sure if other systems had this problem, but for a game about going fast, the load times were slower than two turtles having sex. This literally is a game about going fast, yet half the game I'm sitting there waiting for the piece of shit to load. Secondly, the cutscenes and visuals. What the actual fuck? This game is meant to be played in 4K and full HD, but all the cinematics and cutscenes feel like they were just improperly upscaled. Not that you should upscale to begin with, but like you can literally see the artifacting on the screen from it being upscaled. I understand this game was meant for a system that wasn't even quite running at 720p, but damn, this looks bad. Not to mention that to make up for this, the game adds this blooming glow effect to enhance the visuals, but it's more distracting than anything. Because of this, there are times where it feels like it's too busy on screen, like there's way too much going on for my poor eyes to handle. This is mostly apparent in the 2D sections where the camera pulls out way too fucking far to understand what's happening on screen, like half the battle is just trying to figure out where I am on screen. The visuals don't always help communicate this, especially when you have enemies, platforming, and piss poor level design all thrown at you at once. It doesn't help that the levels are basically linear hallways either. The game does have this feature where as you progress you unlock new wisps to use in older levels, which is supposed to essentially open up new routes for the player to explore, but the game is constantly trying to push you forward. Sonic Colors Ultimate? More like Sonic Hallway Ultimate, because every fucking corridor and every fucking location is just one giant hallway. Despite Sonic Unleashed and Sonic Generations having the boost formula, there were still alternative routes and shortcuts for the player to take, not to mention cool areas to see and explore. The visuals and locations sometimes look cool, but the fact that the game is so automated, you hardly interact with any of the cool gimmicks within the stage. It makes them feel like those rides at an amusement park where you sit in a moving cart as you watch a variety of things play out throughout the ride, but don't have any interaction with them. Going down a different path hardly has any positive or negative impact, and hardly feels like a different path to begin with because the visuals and gimmicks are exactly the same, and there's nothing memorable about most of the stages except for like two. There's one where you're smashing meteors in space and running on small asteroids and planets, and then this grindy level on Planet Wisp that almost feels like something straight out of Sonic Adventure 2. The rest of the levels and designs feel forgettable and generic. In fact, some of the older gimmicks from previous levels show up in later ones and play exactly how they did in older stages with little to no change in difficulty. Also, why I'm running on solid, evenly cut square blocks in a place called Sweet Mountain makes no sense to me. The times that you do interact with the environment, it's mostly automated. The bosses are also still a joke. It takes like 3 hits to defeat them still. You can beat most of them in under 2 minutes, and there isn't any way to increase the difficulty, though I don't think you'll want to even go back to look at the bosses once you've played them once. They're not really all that fun or appealing to look at. There's also these super fucked audio issues I had on the PS4 version of the game. Sometimes music and sound effects just straight up won't play. Not sure what the deal is with that, but it was a bit distracting. Another issue I had with the game was stuttering. Again, for a game meant to go fast and was originally made for the Wii, there are quite a lot of frame drops and straight up stuttering in the gameplay. It wasn't detrimental in terms of making the game unplayable, but I did expect a smoother experience from a 10-year-old game running on more powerful hardware. The other features like Game Land and multiplayer also returned for Sonic Colors Ultimate, and from what I've played, they play exactly as they did before. What I did notice though, since I didn't play too much of Game Land in the original Sonic Colors, was that some of the levels in Game Land are actually the same level design in the classic Sonic games. I found Marble Zone, Spring Yard Zone, and Labyrinth Zone to name a few, so I guess that was pretty cool, but isn't a unique feature to Sonic Colors Ultimate. In summary, playing Sonic Colors Ultimate was just like playing the original Sonic Colors. If you like Sonic Colors, you'll also like Ultimate. There is enough here to warrant getting the game again on a new system, if the price drops to about $20. While the game adds a little bit more to increase the overall playtime to the game, it's all mainly things to pad out the playtime and small quality of life changes. Ultimately, it's just Sonic Colors for a different system. Personally, in my opinion, there are way better Sonic games I would have preferred to be remastered, and Sonic Colors is definitely not one of them. It's just a Mario game with a new and different coat of paint. It's just an average platformer with no real Sonic the Hedgehog spunk or charm. While the remix soundtrack is as bitching as always, at the end of the day, it's still only Sonic Colors with a few minor updates. It's definitely not as good as the critics have been saying. Most of them are too busy sucking off Mario to understand what a good Sonic game actually looks like anyways. They're either liars, were paid off by Sega, or must be playing a different game altogether, because they're definitely not playing Sonic Colors Ultimate to be giving it that high of a fucking score. In short, Sonic Colors Ultimate is a mediocre, generic platforming game with the Sonic name attached to it. It's not a bad game, but being that it's meant to be a Sonic game, it's by far disappointing and underwhelming to say the very least. Sonic Colors Ultimate gets a 2 out of 10 for being painstakingly average in nature. The controls still need a lot of work, the level design hasn't improved, and all the new additions only bring the game from a 1 out of 10 to a solid 2 out of 10. In my eyes, the game was doomed from the start. I did not enjoy playing the game other than the challenge of the Metal Sonic rival races, and even those weren't enough to warrant me purchasing the game till it goes on sale at a bargain price. If you like Sonic Colors, that's fine, but after playing games like Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Unleashed, and even ambitious games like Sonic 06, Sonic Colors is the significant other you settle for in your mid-40s because you either haven't gotten married yet or because you were divorced for being a complacent piece of shit. But that's all I have to say regarding Sonic Colors Ultimate. I hope you guys enjoyed the review and found it informative, as I clearly have a different perspective on the game than most people. But let me know down in the comments below what you thought of the game. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more videos similar to this one. And until then, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.